Angels Care Home Health, serving Hayes and the surrounding areas, is a Medicare-certified home health agency providing quality skilled nursing and restorative therapy services to patients in their homes.
I love the nurses that come and see me.
Angels Care is there to help 24 hours a day, and all services are covered 100% by Medicare for patients who are eligible.
Since I learned about Angel Care, I would recommend them to anybody.
Angels Care Home Health. We serve patients.
Eagle Community Television presents Community Connection with your host, Mike Cooper.
Hello and welcome again to Community Connection from Eagle Community Television. Thanks for watching. Thanks as always to the producer and editor of our series, Jeff Durall, and to camera number 2, Brandon Cooley from Eagle Community Television. We're at the NRSC offices, the U.S. Department of Agriculture offices, with the District Forester for Kansas, Jami Seirer. New in the job, so we thought maybe you'd like to meet the District Forester, who has recently come on the job as of about 6 months now, right, Jami?
Right.
The duties of the job of District Forester, what have you learned so far about what's encompassing in the job, Jami?
Well, my position in particular has 2 different sets of duties. I have a community side where I service urban communities, and then I have a rural side where I do work with producers and other natural resource entities, I guess you could say. And so in the community side of things, I work with cities to become Tree City USAs through the Arbor Day Foundation. And then I do things like picking out trees for parks and helping cities with their landscapes, things like that, and diagnosing tree problems and serving on tree boards and all kinds of things. And then on the rural side of things, I help producers with their windbreaks or stream bank stabilizations, all kinds of stuff like that. So
there's a lot of similarity, but a lot of difference in those 2 descriptive areas, right, Jami?
A lot of difference, I think. Yeah.
So this area for the District Forester, district being what, 24 counties in the geographic area, huh?
Right.
Outline the area for us.
So on the community side of things, I serve 24 counties. On the rural side of things, I serve 23 counties. It's basically Lincoln County all the way over to the Colorado line, and then all the counties flush with Ellis County up to Nebraska, plus Rush County, Barton County, and Ellsworth.
Now, many of us are aware that there was a period of time when a longtime District Forester, Jim Strine, was in the office. Then there was a couple of years, and then Jami came on board. Are you and Jim still in touch?
Oh yeah, Jim and I work together a lot. Thank goodness for that guy, because without him, I don't know what I would do. But he's really, really helped me. I'm kind of new to the tree world, and so he's taught me so many things about this area and the people in the area and how to deal with different problems that are specific to this area, and he's just been so great. So I always joke to him that he just thought he was retiring, and he enjoyed that for 2 or 3 years, but now he's out of retirement.
Well, I'm sure he appreciates still being in touch, no
Sure.
doubt about it, with the years Jim served in the area. As a matter of fact, Jim was the one who encouraged us to give you a call, so blame him for this whole routine here. Tell me about some interests that you had that moved you into the forestry job.
Well, it's kind of interesting how it worked out. I went to the University of Montana for, I guess you could say, forestry. I more did ecological modeling in the remote sensing world. So I took satellite data and I assimilated it all with on-the-ground data, and I did this environmental physics model that was really important to help us study the Earth in terms of climate change. And the department that I went through is nested in the College of Forestry, and so it came out that my degree is actually Masters of Forestry, but I didn't really have much to do with trees at the time. I was working behind a computer 100% of the time. I never got out into the field, but it's really cool because I'm really interested in natural resources. I grew up in the natural resource world. Both my parents have biology degrees. My dad works at the Wildlife and Parks down in Garden City, so we were always outside with him. And so it's just something that I really care about, and I saw this opening and thought, well, I'll be honest with them that I don't know that much about trees right now, but I'll learn. And I feel like I did learn. I'm learning still from Jim, and he's been a big part of helping me through that process. So.
But this whole background lends itself perfectly to this particular environment, if you will, because it's all about the environment, Jami.
Sure.
Tell me about the area of work that you're doing. Let's split this up, the rural versus urban. You're working with cities throughout this 23, 24 county area to develop tree cities, to develop habitats, right?
Right. So the Arbor Day Foundation has a set of rules that you have to follow, or communities have to meet, in order to become certified Tree City USAs. And to do that, they have to do things like spend $2 per capita. They have to have an active tree board. They have to have city ordinances regarding trees, and they have to have an Arbor Day celebration. And so it takes a little bit to get that process moving, and so it's my job to kind of help them through all that. And right now we have, I think, 9 tree cities in my district, but we're working on about 3 more this year, so the more the better. And the benefit to the communities is then they get recognition from Arbor Day, which helps them receive more funding to do community forestry work. And forestry really encompasses not just the trees in the community, but also the green space, so the parks and the grass and the community gardens and all that sort of thing. So. And
of course, Hayes has been a leader in Tree City USA and Arbor Day celebrations for many, many years, as you're becoming aware, I'm sure. Yeah, that's right. Tell me about some of the things that you're currently working on. I know you and Holly Dickman work in tandem many times, Holly Dickman being the Ellis County Extension horticulturist, and some of the other area horticulturists throughout the area, Jami.
Sure, yeah. Research Extension, they're really a big partner for us. We're actually nested in with the Extension now through K-State. The Forest Service is a K-State entity, so we work with them all the time, and Holly has been really great. Anything that I've needed, she's helped me put together a paper. She's worked with me on pine wilt projects. Of course, she serves on the beautification committee that I also help with. So yeah, we've touched base a few times, and there's other extension agents around that have helped me out with tree problems or getting me in touch with producers that need a little extra help or things like that. So yeah, there's a lot of people to get to know, and I feel like I've touched a lot of them, but I'm still meeting people, so.
Now, there's going to be more to come, I'm sure.
Right.
All right, let's separate then to the rural area and some of the services offered there. You mentioned Windbreaks earlier, certainly one of the most integral parts of a rural setting, Jami, but other areas that you're interested in as well, including ponds and streams and creeks, right?
Right, that's more, I don't do as much of that out here in the West where, most of our stuff is dry. But the Forest Service is active in that on the rural side of things. I would say probably 98% of my rural time is spent doing windbreaks. So there's been studies done that say that environmental conditions now are worse than they were back during the Dust Bowl. And we at the Forest Service feel like a big part of the reason we don't have the same kind of conditions that we're experiencing in the Dust Bowl is because of installation of windbreaks and sustainable agriculture methods and things like that. So there's been a big push to put windbreaks out in the far western counties especially. And so there was an outreach about 2 years ago that really targeted producers in that area, and the producers really received that well and were really interested. So there's been so many windbreaks that have been installed through that process, and we're getting ready to do another big outreach on that next year to target a few more producers in the further eastern counties of my district. So.
And why are windbreaks important, Jami?
Well, for a lot of reasons. They're energy efficient, so they help save money on your energy bills, and they help with things like soil erosion, and I guess trees in general help with stream bank erosion, things like that. Protection for wildlife, habitat, all kinds of things. So.
And if we're worried about the blowing dust, as we've seen evidence of already this spring, Windbreaks can help alleviate that to an extent.
Yeah, right. It's really interesting because after really big windstorms, people always call me and they're like, okay, I need a windbreak now. So
it takes a practical experience, I think, sometimes.
Right.
Talk about some program presentations. You work with groups of all different types across this 24-county area, huh?
yeah, so I help with beautification boards, and sometimes in these smaller communities, that's maybe 1 or 2 people that I'm presenting to. I've talked at the Conservation District annual meetings. The last one I talked at was in Atwood. We put on a forestry program for community forestry here in Hayes back in February. There was about 80 people there, which was awesome for the Northwest District. And yeah, there's future programs to come. I've got all kinds of Arbor Day celebrations coming up. I'm trying to make it to all the Arbor Day celebrations in my district, but
that's going to be a challenge.
yeah, it is. My days in April are full, so.
Arbor Day in the month of April, but it can be different times for different community.
Yeah, the formal celebration is chosen by the community, the date. So
there's a great website too that we need to talk about. But if somebody's interested in a program, what do they do? Contact you?
yeah, they can contact me or their extension, or through the rural side, I work so much with NRCS, the Natural Resource Conservation Service. We at the Forest Service are actually technical service providers to NRCS for projects like Windbreaks and things like that, where producers can go through government programs to then help receive cost share funding.
We have a whole lot of pamphlets and information that's available through K-State Research and Extension that you work with. Just a few of them. Home and horticultural pests. The Japanese beetle is one that is shown. Another one that talks about a really great publication here that's available to the public called Preferred Trees for Northwest Kansas. This is available as a handout, but also available on your website, right?
Right.
This is a multi-page presentation of trees. Tell me about that website, Jami.
So the website is Kansas Forests, like plural, forests.org. And on there you'll find all kinds of handouts, you'll find program information, you can learn about our other staff members and active projects that the Forest Service is involved in. There's a rural site and a community site, so you can separate those out if you want to. You can order conservation tree and shrubs on our website. So all kinds of things.
And again, it's Kansas Forests, plural, all one word, .org.
Yes.
And finally, pine wilt, sustainable urban landscapes, a fatal disease of erotic pines in the Midwest. Somewhat abated in Ellis County, but still a problem.
Yeah, so in the Northwest District, it's been around for a while, especially in Russell County, Barton County. There's been different communities that have worked to eradicate it through efforts to take out the infected trees and then replace them. Some cities like Hayes has a rebate program where if you remove the tree, they actually help pay for that sort of thing. And so, yeah, it wasn't active in Hayes for a while, but we did do a pine wilt survey, Holly and I and Jim and of course the KDA people, and we did find it again in Hayes recently. So just trying to make people aware that it's here again, and if you've got problems with your pine trees, better let us know in case we need to help with that. So.
And certainly identifying the potential for the disease itself in pines that you might have on your property.
Right.
And finally, Jami, we got to talk about this little guy here who is probably as well known as our producer, Jeff Durall, in the area. Tell me about Smokey.
So,
Smokey Bear, not Smokey the Bear, we understand, right?
Yeah, Smokey Bear. We have these little guys for the kids who win the Smokey Bear poster contest. And that poster contest, I think, is available to grade school students from, I don't remember how many states in our region. I feel like it's like Kansas and Colorado and Utah and Nevada and Montana and Illinois. I don't even know. Idaho. Anyway, they all bring their posters together to Brenda Slaughter, who then comes in, and we helped her judge the poster contest, or the posters in the contest, and choose the winners, and the winners get these little smoky bears. So the contest winners will be presented their bears on Arbor Day. So, and that's April 20th this year, I think, here in Hayes.
April 20th. And again, that website, if you're interested, kansasforests.org. From the NRCS office, the District Forester for the state of Kansas, Jami Seirer, our Community Connection.
Angels Care Home Health, serving Hayes and the surrounding areas, is a Medicare-certified home health agency providing quality skilled nursing and restorative therapy services to patients in their homes.
My Angel Care physical therapist taught me how to do exercises safely.
Angels Care is there to help 24 hours a day, and all services are covered 100% by Medicare for patients who are eligible.
It gives us independence in our home.
Angels Care Home Health. We serve patients.